f21. Am jealous of my twin sister, f21. My sister and I are fraternal twins, which means that we don't look alike. We did pretty much the same things at school and we go to the same uni, but about a year ago she got a sugar daddy and her life has been completely different. She has a nice apartment in the city and she's been traveling, and I feel crazy and bitter that she gets to do all these things. She's prettier than me. Recently she wanted to start a business and her sugar daddy introduced her to some people who want to invest. I know I'm supposed to be happy for her and she's never thrown it in my face or anything, but when I have to bust my ass to get anything I want and I see how she can just float through life, it just makes me feel so mad. I love my sister and I love that she's succeeding and happy, but I don't know how to stop being bitter about it. I don't want to ruin my relationship with her. Lately I feel like I've been really snarky and rude and I don't want to be like that. How do I stop being angry at her? Does anyone have any advice on how to not feel bitter about all this? Have you always compared yourself to your sister, or is this a recent development? If the former, I would recommend speaking to a professional to help you narrow down the root of your feelings. Something I've personally realized is that comparing myself to others is a sort of personal torture. Focus on yourself and what you want to accomplish. Do you really want to spend your life sad over things out of your control? Or do you want to be happy with all your achievements? Your sister is doing her own thing, and I guarantee you her life isn't always easy, but it's her life and she needs to live it. The comparison has always been there, but for a long time it didn't affect us. Like through school it didn't materialize into anything more, but now it seems like more doors are opening for her and pathways that aren't accessible for me. But it's a fair point about focusing on what I can do. At the end of the day, part of her achievement is coming about as a result of her performing sex work. I've seen people talk about being a sugar baby and how it's not as glamorous as it may seem. Some have talked about a total lack of attraction to their sexual partner, how they have to fake their enthusiasm, and how their sugar daddy treats them as a disposable object rather than an actual human being. Some have also talked about various types of emotional and physical trauma they've received from their sugar daddies. For all we know, the sugar daddy may have introduced your sister to these other people with the intent that she will provide services for them. I'm not saying this to shame her. My point here is that these doors aren't opening for her easily, as sex work is not always easy work. Even if she doesn't have to provide sexual services to these guys, she still does for her sugar daddy. It's not like this success is coming about without effort, as she is absolutely putting in the effort. It's not all green lights and a bumpless road here. To be honest, she may go through some of the same things herself in regards to you. She may have her own jealousies when it comes to things you've accomplished and done. I think right now it would be good to look at what you want to do in life. You say that you have generally studied and done the same things, right? So look at whether or not you've chosen these out of a subconscious desire to twin with your twin sister. I've heard twins talk about how they do this as a result of parents trying to make them into little duplicate versions of each other. If your career and hobbies are things you like, then keep doing them and don't care about how you stack up to your sister. You're you and you're awesome. Doors are opening for her because someone else is paying for them to open. It's not as fulfilling or rewarding as doing it yourself. You are beautiful, smart, strong and independent, so when you finally get your breakthrough and your success you will feel so much more accomplished. Trust me, your best days are so ahead of you. Don't ever compare yourself to anyone else, not even your sister, trust me. You're young, so I understand your feelings now, but believe me, you'll feel so much better later knowing you can function independently and not be handed things in life. Her sugar daddy won't be around forever. Investors won't stay forever if she can't actually run a business, etc. You are doing yourself a favor now, setting yourself up to enjoy the same accomplishments later in life, something you will have earned. Again, I know it doesn't seem like it now, but you are the lucky one. The grass is always greener. You're not seeing what she has to put up with from sugar daddy: weird sex stuff, weird old people smells, wiping his bum, a feeling of being owned, the pressure to be on all the time, the anxiety that it could all go away at any moment, etc. You have your freedom and many would envy that. Hey friend, I'm noticing that a lot of people are harsh to you and demand that you stop feeling jealous. I want to say that jealousy is a natural feeling that exists in all mammals who perceive a situation as unfair. Feelings aren't really bad or good, it's how we act on them that matters. May I suggest giving yourself some extra kindness and compassion to calm and soothe the wounded part of you. Counseling is also a good idea as was suggested by some. But rest assured, you aren't bad for having feelings. Therapy to work through these issues, as they seem like they've been around a long time, and ignore these people tearing your sister down to build you up. Making it about how much better you are than her because at least you don't have a sugar daddy will hurt your relationship in the long run. Yeah, therapy is a good shout. I really don't want to tear my sister down, she's a wonderful person, it's just bitterness from me. Definitely ignore a majority of the comments here. I think therapy would be a good next step. If you can, I would try to suss out one that has a more neutral view of sex work. I know on the surface all you see is your sister's lavish lifestyle, but there's more going on with her and her arrangement than just I had a guy pay for my dinner and now I get a new handbag. Yay. Her job is a full-time romantic and sexual relationship with someone she probably isn't actually attracted to. She has to be emotionally available for him and able to cater to whatever relationship needs he has while probably having her own ignored. She'll have a really hard time finding an actual partner for herself as long as she's with him, because even if her sugar daddy is okay with that, most partners would not be. She's also probably hyper-aware of the fact that her income, and potential investments, could stop at any time, and her job is very dependent on how she looks. You mentioned she travels. Does she travel with him? Because in that case, she still has to spend the entire trip playing the role of the perfect girlfriend.